Hey, good morning, friends. Scott Brookins. Hope you're having a great day and a great week. And just wanted to share a little story that something happened a couple days ago, and hopefully it'll make you laugh and maybe make you think about how you react to different things. But please like and share these messages. Every time I share a message, whether it's here on Facebook or around the world in a church service or wherever it is, I pray that at least one person needed to hear that message. So for these few minutes, I hope you enjoy this, and may God be glorified. So the title is Senioritis, and I don't. This is that time of year where it's graduation time from, high school and college and graduate school, and I think even schools do it. You graduate from kindergarten nowadays, but I'm trying to. I was thinking of how I felt as a senior in high school or graduating from college, or how my kids felt, and just the excitement for the graduation day, that completion of those years of study or completing your degree, and then the excitement for tomorrow and the future, right? And so I want you to kind of think about that. But a couple of days ago, I had to travel about 40 miles to go to a local bank to handle some finances for our ministry. And after I was done there with my frustrations, and the branch manager, took care of me. And before I drove back home, there was a McDonald's right next door, and I thought, well, it was early in the morning. I'll grab a cup of coffee and then drive back home. So I go into this McDonald's, and it's like a brand new one, and there's self-serve order machines there. I've never seen that before. Hey, Jan, good to see you. And but there was a young teenage girl standing there, smiling, waiting to serve, waiting to help whoever came in. And so she went behind the counter and said, "How can I help you?" And so I ordered something to eat, just because I hadn't really eaten breakfast. I think it was a breakfast burrito. And so I ordered one of those because they're cheap, and I said, "in a small coffee." And she smiled at me. She looked at me, and she goes, "Do you want the senior coffee?" And then she kind of giggled and smiled. She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if you qualify for that, or I assumed you do." And she kind of laughed, and I laughed because, well, and I said to her, I said, "Yeah, I qualify, and thank you for asking," right? Because a senior coffee is a free coffee. And I didn't know that. And so I got my free cup of coffee and sat down for a little bit to rest, and had to actually contact Pastor Benjamin in Uganda. But and then she came by later and said, "Is everything fine?" And I said, "Yep, you're doing an awesome job. Thanks for your help." And so, it made me realize that, as I'm getting older, I'm in some classifications a senior, which I don't think I am, because I look at that more of people that have retired, or in America over 65 or 70 and so forth. But in some restaurants, and I hope she didn't think I was that old, but maybe I do look that old. But anyway, there was a discount, and it was a free cup of coffee, which is cool. I'm all for that. But, it makes you realize that life goes on, right? And even though inside in our mind and we feel younger, we don't really change mentally most of the time. It's just physically, we can't do things as well as we used to. Our body aches after raking the yard, or riding a bike, or maybe our hair is starting to turn gray. And that's just what it is. And one of my favorite verses in the Bible is in Proverbs, and there's a couple that deal with aging, but in Proverbs 16, verse 31, it says, "Gray hair is a crown of splendor. It is attained by a righteous life." And there's another verse that talks about the gray hair as a crown, and strength for the young people, but kind of the crown of a good life is gray hair. And so, as my kids tell me that I'm getting older and that gray hair, I'm remembering God's word that it's a crown. But it was kind of a funny story, that happened, and I just want to encourage us as we think of senioritis. and we look at, kids graduating, our kids or grandkids or friends and family members, and they're excited about the future, that no matter what age we are, no matter where we are in our place in life, that we need to be excited about the future, because God does have a plan for us. And if we're still here, if we're still living, then there's a purpose for you and for me. Otherwise, God wouldn't have us here. He'd take us home to be with him. So no matter what your age, no matter whether you're feeling good or feeling bad today or struggling, God has a purpose for you. And so I want to encourage you, even if you're getting senior discounts when you don't expect it, or maybe you do expect it, take them with honor. And but be excited about tomorrow and the next day and whatever God's future that he has for you. And so I hope you'll enjoy this. I hope you'll have an amazing day and go inspire others to do the same. God bless.